Let's go over something incredibly basic. We all love easy things. It makes us feel good. We understand it. But the problem is in a classroom, students start to zone off. On a video, students click off. They're like, I already know this. Why do I need to understand this? The problem is because once problems started getting more difficult, we have to rely on this foundational understanding. So that's exactly what I want to make sure I go through with you in this video. So therefore, when things do get harder, which I'm going to teach examples of, you can always refer back to this original video. So let's go ahead and take a segment, and we're going to call this segment JK, and we're going to put a point P in the middle. Okay. Now, when it says middle, that means it's even on both sides. So a lot of times we will say like, this is going to be equal to this. We write these little tick marks to represent they are congruent. We can say JP is going to be congruent to PK. All right. Now, what's important about this is when things are going to be congruent, or we're talking about length or segments, then we know that the length of JP is going to be equal to the length of segment PK. Now, the reason why this kind of comes up is, again, like if I said this is 3, you'd say, well, then that has to be 3, right? If I say this is 5 and I say, well, what is X? Then you say, oh, well, X has to equal 5, right? We can write a statement in that regard. Now, again, the reason why this starts to get confusing is we start saying like JP is going to equal to a 3X minus 5 and PK is going to equal a 7X minus 3, right? We get something like this. But again, as long as we know that P is in the middle, like the verbiage that is used, P is in the middle, or one segment is congruent or equal in length to the other, then we know we can always set up this equation. 3x minus 5 is equal to a 7x minus 3. Then we can go ahead and solve the equation. Now for the foundations of this video, I'm not going to work through this, but go ahead and check on the next video I have or the resources all in my playlist, and you'll see multiple examples of me going over problems like this. But I want to go over to the next foundational type of problem that we need to know, and that is going to be very confused, or this gets often confused with this congruent statements, because we have our J, we have our K. But in this case, we're going to have our middle point is going to be M. Now, a lot of times when we see a diagram on a geometry textbook or in a test, it looks like it's right in the middle, and they might use M, and you might think, oh, that's the middle point. And so students will often just assume that JM is equal to MK. But don't assume unless, or don't do that unless you see these little tick marks representing even measure, or it says M is exactly in the middle. Then you know that this part is equal to that part. But when it just says a point M is in between, then what we need to understand is the segment addition postulate. And what basically that says is JM is a part of this line. MK is another part of this line. Well, the part plus the part is going to equal the whole line, right? I mean, that makes pretty obvious sense. This plus this equals the whole. So we write this in, in geometry, we'll say like JM plus MK is equal to JK. Now, one of the problems that a lot of students will get stuck with is they will get a problem and it does not provide a diagram. It just gives you the JM, the MK, and the JK, and students are like, oh, like, what am I doing here? So always try to, before you start working through the problem, create a visual element, create a visual segment, label the points, so therefore you can exactly see what's going on. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's not, once you know the part plus part equals whole, the segment addition postulate, like, it's not too bad. If I say, let's just rewrite these here, M and K, if I have, like, this is 3, and I say, well, what's X? And then we say, well, the whole length is going to be 10. You can say like, yeah, X is going to equal 7, right? Because I know 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. But obviously, this is just the foundational stuff. What's going to happen is we're going to start getting something that's even more crazy, or even with more variables than the congruent statement. We're going to start having something like this, where we have a segment and boom, let's say I'll just label these again one more time. And then we'll get something like this. It's like, oh, 2x minus 5. And then this one will be like a x plus 10. And then sometimes the whole length will be a value, a number, or it also could be a linear equation as well. And let's just do another linear equation. So something like it just totally doesn't make any sense. and 7x minus 15. And this is where students will get crazy. Like there's all these variables, like what does everything understand? But again, like just go back to the basics. Part plus part equals whole. And if you understand that, you say, I don't need to worry about all these values. I just know 2x minus 5 plus an x plus 10. And again, sometimes you can put parentheses around them just to group them to make sure you're like part plus part. And then it's equal to whole, 7x minus 15. And then you can go ahead and solve the linear equation. And if you want to see me work through these exact types of problems, because these are foundational in a chapter of geometry, then go and check out the next video I have for you here. Or if you just want a quick little guide of exactly what I just went over in this video, then check out the description down below for all of my resources. Cheers.